compete against NFL guys, and now you watch him, and he's almost the voice of the defense or the voice of the team in a lot of ways. I saw him coaching the defensive backs up at Wake Forest. You see kind of what he does. He's waving teammates back on the field, off the field. What is it about him this year that has just pushed him to another stratospheric level?
Maturity, and him buying in, to fully what it takes. I mean, he's a great kid, always has been, but, our conversation all season was, we got a lot of guys, right? And, so you got basically 4 starters coming back, and it's, easy for them to say, well, golly, man, I'm splitting reps. And I'm like, why are you worried about that? Like, quit worrying about how many plays you get, and how about focus on how you play? These scouts don't care who runs out there first. They could care less. They just care about how you play the game. Like, right? I mean, they know, okay, oh, they got KJ and Miles and Maskell and Xavier Thomas. I mean, all right, so all these guys, this is college football. Like, they're all good players. They're all going to play. How do you play? I mean, don't say you want more plays. You played 25 plays and you're not impacting the game. I mean, play well. And so how do we play better? We've got to change how we got to focus on this, and then he took we get these guys evaluated every year, and we get a lot of feedback that's, I think, important. Some of them want it, some of them cringe, but KJ's one of those guys, like, he wants it. He's self-aware that way, and most of the time he'll be like, "Yep, I agree," and that takes a lot of maturity, And then okay, well, let's go attack that, and so be inside out and quit worrying about this guy and that guy, and it's a man in the mirror, and I just think he just really, and that's what I say. Yeah, you can go somewhere else, but it ain't gonna get less competitive for you. You're gonna be on a really good team. You got a chance to probably be the captain of the team, and you focus on yourself, and you don't run from competition. That's how I look at it. It's not like he's not going to play, and so he just, man, he's changed his body. He's really worked on his tools. He's a much better run player. And a lot of that's a reflection of just what he's done in the weight room and his strength and just his knowledge of the game. Like, he sees it, he understands it, he studied it, and then all of his pass rush techniques, everything. I mean, he's just become more of a craftsman at the job. He's a 5th-year senior. That's what college football is all about. This is a development game, and it's one of those things that you see so many of these kids now. If they're not all world as a freshman, it's like, well, I gotta leave. I gotta go somewhere else. No, the mirror travels with you. Somewhere along the line, you gotta work, and you gotta earn things. And I just think he's a great example to all those things. He's always been a good player, but he's become a great player because he has, been inside out. He's taken coaching. He's not looked at it as criticism. He's looked at it as information to get better, and it's been awesome. So I mean, he's been great. He's been great, and just all those guys have bought into that. Just being selfless, and understanding that our strength is in numbers, and to be able to sub people and wear people down and to stay fresh in the fourth quarter when we have to have it is a real plus for us. So it's been great. It's been great. We've been able to really use our depth, at the most critical position on that side of the ball, and going to get better. As we got X coming back real soon, and that's going to be awesome.
I remember you telling us in 2018. I think it was after the A&M game that Henry actually approached you and told you that he wanted to redshirt that season. How rare is that for a guy as highly recruited as he was?
That never happens. That's very rare. 5-star guy, and we really needed him, and he was playing. In fact, he had just played his best game at Wake, and he just said, "Coach, I need power hour. I got to get stronger." But he was looking at Klee. He's looking at Austin Bryant. Klee is a redshirt junior. Austin is a junior, 4th-year guy, and just big, strong, more physical, and he's looking at that going, okay, that's not me. You know, a lot of kids like that, they don't recognize that, you know, and that's a detriment to him when you don't have that type of self-awareness. But he's just like, Coach, I'm not strong enough, and I need to get in the weight room. So, you know, we made a little deal, and I said, all right, well, that's what we'll do, but if we get an injury or something, you know, you don't have to play. And so it worked out. So he went to Power Hour, and he just started his process. And then, again, graduated. I mean, he's a Campbell Trophy finalist, you know, just got named that last week. And, I mean, he could have easily moved on last year. But, you know, he didn't want to go be a 6th-round draft pick. You know, he wanted to maximize his opportunity. And, you know, he's like, well, you know, I love my team. I love my place. I don't want to go somewhere. Just a very self-aware kid. And he's, you know, unbelievable mom and dad. His dad's a coach. You know, heck, his mom has coached. I mean, they were both athletes, and they're just great people. And I think he's got great counsel, you know. And you know, because again, his dad is an excellent coach, and I mean, he knows the game, you know, inside out. And you know, he's very honest with him, and you know, has challenged him as well. And man, KJ is, again, he's what it's all about, you know. So to have a 5th-year guy like him, and I think it says a lot to the people at the next level how committed he is to getting better in development. And it's just night and day when you watch the tape from where, and you see the transformation that has come for him. So, yeah, proud of him. And you know, again, it takes self-awareness to improve.
Another defensive end that's playing the run better is Justin Maskell. I watch him and see a night and day difference. I hate that I don't know this, but does he have a chance to come back if he would want to next year?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a COVID year.
Yeah,
I mean,
you think that he would take advantage of
I don't know. You know, I mean, he's a graduate as well, and gonna, you know, I mean, he's gonna have opportunity to play at the next level for sure. You know, it's he is so much better. He's always been a very physical guy. That's been a natural thing for him, but just the details of the game. You know, offensive recognition, you know, tendencies, formations, tips, just, you know, that aspect of the game from a football IQ standpoint. I mean, he's come a long way. He's a lot like X in that way. So I'm really proud of him. But yeah, he certainly could. And I think, you know, all these guys, I mean, they're just focused on winning. But as I said earlier, we get them all evaluated and give them the information, and then we see what decisions there are. The good news for him is if he doesn't like his information, he will have that option. You know, we got a couple, I don't know, 1 or 2 more years of that opportunity, which I think has been good for a lot of these kids.
What's Brian's status at this point?
He's not going to play this week. I can tell you that he's doing really good, really good, and everything is great. In fact, they kind of got a protocol in place for him, so they're gonna condition him this week, you know, and just you know, push him through every day. He started that yesterday. He's great, feels great, and again, all of his numbers are where they need to be. But just really want to kind of push him this week, and then if everything goes well as they anticipate, then get him back going next week.
Not practicing.
No, he's out there. Yeah, but they just got him. You know, they're doing more, you know, cardio stuff. You know, he's more with the trainers, but he's you know, going through that protocol with them.
As far as XT, is he back to the point where he's practicing, or is he still?
Yeah, he practiced last week. I know I've been saying it every week. He's right there. He's right there. So, you know, it's just Tuesday, so today will be a big day, and tomorrow. And he was, you know, kind of day to day last week, and you know, didn't really feel quite there. And he's kind of right there, and he's better now than he was last week. So his foot is healed great and looks good, but just. You know, he's been working on his conditioning a little bit too. But you know, he's right there.
Yeah, but it seems like in just about every game this year, your offense has been able to answer when the other team has scored. What does that say about the I guess, the mindset and the composure of your guys on offense, and also what is the cumulative effect of that, of the confidence gained as it continues to?
Yeah, well, they don't. You learn from your experiences. You learn from the bad ones too. And sometimes when you have a lot of bad happening, that gets contagious as well, right? And it's amazing how that works. When you have a lot of success, and that can become contagious too. And confidence, really can grow. And so they're a confident group. And again, we've just been able to have a lot of continuity on that side of the ball. I mean, there's been consistency there. And but the fact that they've been able to do it, and you saw it in the Georgia Tech game, they kind of came alive, overcame a little funk, right? First, 3rd and 1, we're in a great spot. First two, next thing you know, we get the snap, now you punt. And then the next drive, you go right down the field and you feel good and you fumble. And it was just kind of like, getting out of your own way, and then, okay, we'll miss a throw. All right, well, how are we going to respond here? And really kind of since that second half, they've really kind of gone. I mean, we went from the second half of Georgia Tech, I think we went like 9 out of 11 or maybe even more scoring drives, into that Furman game. And then, so we've started well. And I think that's a reflection of how they've practiced, how detailed they are, the leadership. There's a lot of leadership on that side of the ball, man. DJ is relentless at practice. I mean, he's just a different guy. He is every day. He really truly comes out there like it's game day every day, and it just sets the tone. So, the guys are having fun up front, and again, they've had some success, and that just breeds confidence that somebody's going to make a play. And so I'm proud of them, where they are. But they're far from complete and far from satisfied because there's a lot that we can do better.
Well, you guys have been adding and finding consistent success with the tight end group. How valuable is that in the college game in this day to have kind of that X factor, and how does that complement this offensive skill set as well?
Yeah, we've always valued the tight end. I mean, my first tight end was Michael Palmer, and he was here. He was on the sideline Saturday. And Dwayne Allen, my second tight end, won the Mackey Award, and he was on the sideline Saturday. Was here for the Hall of Fame. Brandon Ford was a great player for us. I mean, Leggett was a Mackey finalist, a great player. But those guys are hard to find, man. I mean, difference makers at that position. Ask the NFL guys. It's the hardest position to find, and that's why if you see a guy that has that ability to really do it all at that position in today's game and be a matchup problem, they're high premium at the next level. They just are, and they're just hard to find. There's just a lot. I think it's the hardest position to play in our offense outside of quarterback from a schematic standpoint, because there's a lot. I mean, not everybody can. Sometimes it just takes some guys a little while to do it, and then some years, you get guys, he's a better route runner, but he can't block nobody. Some years this guy's a better blocker, and you have to kind of piece it together. So it's nice when you got some guys that can really do it all. And, everybody's trying to find those guys, recruit those guys. But Davis was a guy, like I said, he didn't play tight end. He's just a big athlete, basketball player, pitcher, D-line, linebacker, tough guy, and just saw his athleticism, but he had to kind of learn he hadn't run routes. So he had to learn the game, and he's gotten better and better and better. And now he's, he thinks he's Kelsey, right? Like he thinks he can catch anything, he can get open. He's not as twitchy as Brenny, but Brenny's not as physical as Davis. But they're both pretty good at everything. They're not bad at anything. They're good at everything. And to have a tight end that's good at every aspect of the game, that's rare. to have those guys, and both of those guys. And Brenny is obviously a true sophomore. Last year, really light in the pants. Just you're like a little giraffe running around out there, and really know how to play. And he can run a route and he catch a ball, but there's just a lot more to it than that. So now it's just both have become. I mean, Davis is as complete a football player as we have on this team. This guy is special. He's going to play football a long time. He starts on punt team. He starts on field goal team. I mean, he knows he can call plays. I mean, he's just a savvy player, and he's just developed so much with his route running, his body positioning. He's always had good hands, but now he just has the even more confidence to go with it. And then Brenny, Brenny's a guy that could win the Mackey one day. Like, he has that. I mean, he's got that type of upside. But it won't just happen like KJ. It's not going to just happen. He's got to continue to develop. He's not anywhere close to, maxed out physically. Man, he's really become coachable when it comes to technique and fun. In high school, he just ran by everybody. He was bigger than everybody, faster than everybody, and ran by everybody. Now there's recognition and there's spacing and there's man techniques and there's break points and there's footwork. I mean, there's a lot to it, and he's just at another place. And now his confidence has grown, and the game has slowed down. And both of those guys have become weapons for us. And let me tell you, Sage Ennis, Sage is a guy. He's not far off from he hasn't had as much opportunity, but he's battled a lot of injuries since he's been here and has missed a ton of time. But he's finally kind of turning the corner. And man, next year having Sage and Brenny, we're really fortunate. So Sage is coming. Man, we got young Sapp. I think Sapp is going to be a really, really good one. I think he brings all the things that we need. So it's a good group, and we work hard at trying to find the right guys that hopefully can project into what we need at that position. Because when you have a guy like that can really impact the run game. I mean, Davis Allen was our player of the game last week. He had 4 catches, and everybody's talking about he had a great game. I've had a lot of tight ends in the past that have 5 catches and a touchdown. Everybody thinks they played great, and they stunk. Because they didn't impact the game the other 30 plays. But Davis Allen impacts the game every time that ball snapped. He impacts the game. He's player of the game. I mean, just turn on the tape. He's physical like a tackle. He plays like a linebacker from a mentality standpoint. Just a very physical kid, and again, smart and a great leader. So I mean, he changes the game. And when you got a guy like that at that position that is a real factor in the run game and a real factor in the pass game, it opens up everything for everybody else, because somebody's got to go cover 80 and 10 and 0, and so that's when we're at our best. When we can do that, and we've been able to be a little more multiple in some of our personnel groupings because of how Brenny has come along, and even some of our 2-back stuff. So it's been good.
Dabo, you continue to talk about the evolution of this offense. You say you like where they're going and where they're heading, but Saturday you talked about DJ. He has to make some of those throws. So what's the key, and what specific things do you want to see from this offense to continue to? Yeah,
just, again, the precision in what we're doing. And it's a simple thing. Maybe you're running a stretch and you're either a little late off the ball or your footwork's a little off, and next thing you know, we got a guy, it's a 1-yard gain or nothing. It's the back, maybe really trusting and pressing and not cutting on the air. It's a receiver, with his start or with his depth, or with his eyes based on the timing of the drop of the quarterback. Is it quick game? Is it drop back? Is it play action? There's a lot of things that impact timing. So just precision in what we do. We're really close in some spots. And then we got to cut out stupid penalties. We've had some really dumb penalties that cost you. You just don't. Those are plays that everybody goes, oh, well, no. You got a great play call that's fixing the hit, and you jump offside on first down coming off the sideline. Now it's 1st and 15. and it's a different deal. And so those are the things as coaches that we see. So just some dumb penalties. Again, a little more precision in what we do. I think that's the next step. And we got to finish a few more plays. You know, there's a little more chicken on the bone, if you will. But we're doing a lot more good than bad. I mean, we really are. So, but nobody's satisfied. We think we can be a lot better if we'll continue to, develop.
Andrew,
I was going to say, you know, on a situation you get in practice this week, that's after the rest.
No. I mean, we kind of mixed it up with a couple rugby punts last week, which was good, and we were really concerned going into that game with their return, both kick return and punt coverage, or kick coverage and punt coverage, and our guys did a great job. But we just need Aiden to be a little more consistent, and he's missed a couple that's put us in a little bit of a bind. So that's an area that we need to get better. Consistency there, and hopefully this will be the week that he kind of puts it back together. He's got off to a good start, and then he's just missed a few. So hopefully he'll. But as far as how we practice, won't change how we practice. I mean, we believe in how we practice. We don't ever change how we practice.
I just meant competition.
Oh yeah, we got what we got. So we if we have to make a change, we know what we'd do, but we'll keep going. But we believe in Aiden, and we see it every day. And it's like you had a great night last night. Had a really, really good night last night. So it's just hopefully something he'll kind of bust through and just really be a little bit more consistent for us.
With Andrew Makuba playing both safety and corner, is he kind of a stopgap until the younger guys get up to speed? Or is
I don't know if it's a stopgap as much as he's our best player. It's just simple as that. I mean, Makuba's our best player. He's as good a football player as we got. He's a great, great player, and it's kind of one of those things week to week where where you put him. Where do you put your best player? What's best for the defense that week? And sometimes it's dictated by the team you're playing, their personnel. Sometimes it's dictated by injuries, and where you need to put him. Kind of where we were last week. It's the best spot for us, or maybe it's how guys are performing. Whatever. We feel pretty good about our safeties, and then so it was like, all right, well because Mickens has played a ton. Venables led us in tackles last week. He's played a ton. JP is a solid vet, and so you start Koval's coming. You're like, okay, well, we've been struggling here, so all right, let's get our best player here. So that's kind of a week-to-week thing as far as how you game plan him. But he's an outstanding football player.
Do you see any long-term future for him at corner, or is it that he could play anywhere?
I definitely think he's going to play corner more this year. He's going to play safety. He's going to play nickel, and guess what? He's going to do the same thing at the next level one day. He's going to play everywhere. He'll be a nickel corner for sure at the next level. He'll be a high range safety, and he could transition and play corner completely. He can do any of those things. Still needs to develop physically, but he's just a really, really gifted kid that can do a lot.
We talked a lot about the bootleg that you